Hello everyone, my name is Alexis and welcome to first class of getting into Korean culture and cultural difference. Starting from this lesson, you'll learn about Korean culture and how to live and work in Korea during the rest of the lessons. Today, we'll focus on cultural differences and why we have the differences. Finally, we'll compare some of the differences. So, why don't we get started? The term culture shock was introduced for the first time in 1958 to describe the anxiety produced when a person moves to a completely new environment. The feeling of culture shock generally sets in after the first few weeks of coming to a new place. This term expresses the lack of direction, the feeling of not knowing what to do, how to do things in a new environment, and not knowing what is appropriate or inappropriate. So, why do we need cultural understanding? Well, the goal of this course is to understand the difference between your home country and Korea and help you bring harmony in actual life, work, through studying the characteristics of Korean culture and case studies. We must learn to understand the differences, narrowing the cultural difference gap, finally embrace the diversity, becoming bicultured. Now, let's talk about what perspective I should understand when approaching a different culture. There are 5 major areas of approaches: time, space, relationship, expressions, and motivation. By understanding these areas, we'll understand you and make your cultural approaches much more easier in Korea. Alright, let's look at some of the different viewpoints in both Western and Eastern societies. Generally, when Asians see Westerners, they seem to see them as being somewhat rude or disrespectful, whereas Westerners see Asians to be prone to be passive or mysterious. But in fact, in Western society, individuals have the right to express direct opinion, and conflict is not seen as welcome for debate and diversity of thoughts. So there you go. Conflict is seen as welcome. It's okay to have conflict and it's part of the debate. In vice versa, in Asia, silence is form of restraint and you must respect the senior members to save face and acknowledge hierarchy, while maintaining the harmony of the group is more important than individual gain or success. That is why we often use icebergs to compare cultural differences. What we can see on the surface is very superficial information, but beneath the waterline there is a huge chunk that we don't see or understand. After all, what we see is the only tip of an iceberg. Therefore, we should learn to see the entire iceberg. Now, we're going to discuss in details about norms of both society. For example, at the end of the presentation, most Asians do not ask questions about Westerners, whereas Westerners ask lots and lots of questions for clarification and to challenge the speaker. This happens due to social expression. In Asia, people don't want to ask or take risk asking questions because this means a person who asks the question is admitting that he or she did not understand the